we have Shy live, right? Madam President, we're ready.
Just 1 second. Good afternoon to our Facebook family, to our Zoom family, and to our YouTube family. Today, I welcome you to the first Generational Wealth Series program that we're going to have as members of Baton Rouge Sigma Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. I am Shy Joseph Franklin, President of the Baton Rouge Sigma Alumni Chapter, and today, again, officially, I welcome you. Before we begin, I really want to take a moment of silence as members of Baton Rouge Sigma are going through a tough time with one of our members. And when one of our members hurt or is not feeling well, we all feel the pain. So I ask, wherever you are, take a moment and have a moment of silence, of meditation with us before we begin our program. Thank you. As with everything that we do, we wish the greatest blessings upon you and your families. So at this time, what we're going to do is say welcome to the first Baton Rouge Sigma Economic Development Program, where we have the leadership of Daphne Flint-Roy and Carletta Jackson, along with committee members who are bringing us a fabulous presentation today. This is one of many Generational Wealth Series programs that we will have for this 2021-2022 sorority year. So as you tune into this one, stay tuned for others to come. Economic development is one of the thrusts that we have where we promote businesses of all kinds, but we definitely are trying to promote the African-American businesses within our community. So with that, we ask for your support. We ask for your guidance. We ask for your ears. Thank you. And at this time, I turn it over to Daphne Flint-Roy.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're excited to present to you the 2020 Vision Gun Club. Our presenter, Collins Phillips III, better known as CP3, is originally from New Orleans, but has made his home here in Baton Rouge. He graduated from McDonald 35 Senior High School and then went on to matriculate at LSU in Baton Rouge. What we know is Collins has always been a leader. While at LSU, he was with the Students Equality Program, where he led students successfully regarding many things related to students' rights. After his matriculation at LSU, he went on and became dedicated in helping students as a youth advocate. He worked 9 years in education as a state tutoring director and for East Baton Rouge Parish School Systems, where people still talk about him today and the effect and the mentorship that he provided students. During that time while he was there, he found out that he wanted to develop his knack for carpentry, which he did. And he created his very own innovative constructions and repairs company. I must say, along that time frame too, he was re-interviewed in 225 magazine because he was so outstanding that they picked up on Collins, not only his skills and his talents, but the fact that he had on the community as well. And so in November 2020, he was featured in 225 magazine. Not long after that, he is continuing on his carpentry business. And about after 5 years of successfully doing that, and still is, Collins decided to flip over to another hobby of his that was a great joy too. And he started a successful business because he is a lifetime dedicated person to the pursuit and helping people understand the purpose and use of firearms. So he developed the 2020 Vision Gun Club. And that's what he's going to talk to us about today. But what else is exciting is he just stands a few months away for the grand opening of his brick and mortar location for the 2020 Vision Gun Club. Presently, he is next door to Millennium Park, which is on Florida Boulevard. And I will say to you, many of those buildings and those, I'll just say, units that you see at Millennium Park, he's the person who built them. He doesn't like to share that all the time, but the young man is very talented. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And I present to you CP3 Collins Phillips III.
Good evening.
Start over.
All right, there we go. You gotta go on YouTube. It's not a Zoom meeting if we don't have a little technological issue. So, let's see. Is it good? Yeah, you got it. All right. All right. I think we are all right now. So start ahead. Wait, no, is it? There we go. All right, cool. All right. Like I said, it's not a Zoom meeting unless you got a little technical difficulties. But so let's get back to it. Always very involved. Always helping people. I'm not gonna say I was so selfless where, oh, I'm just gonna help and not look out for myself. No, I'm gonna look out for myself as well. Let's just be honest about it. But you know, you got to know your level of sacrifice for your life. But was very active in LSU. Was very active in high school. After LSU, just through, knowing people in between LSU and Southern and all the other colleges from visiting being in college. Got a lot of connections, learned a lot of things from people. Always learn, always definitely always definitely tried to put people on, I'm gonna say, in my tutoring days, when I got out of the shoe, I was always hiring not only friends, but teachers, students that were still in school to go hit on and recruit students to be in tutoring. So I always had this knack for trying to get people to get more involved and at the same time help themselves. So education was my thing. Gave it a lot of energy. I really loved helping teachers. I was in 7 parishes, providing tutoring, hiring teachers, getting them extra jobs on the side. Same time, I was that director that was literally at the students' houses, literally talking to grandparents raising grandchildren, literally talking to parents, at all levels, okay? After the tutoring, got into EBR schools as a mentor, a youth advocate, that was basically an administrative mentoring position, and I was more hands-on with the kids. And that was something I always enjoyed, just as being a state director for tutoring. I always liked to be hands-on with the kids. So that was a big transition for me being in one school, but I loved it. I really loved it. I literally have a quote unquote daughter. I have no biological kids, but I have a daughter that she was my first track student at the middle school that I was at in EBR, Glasgow Middle. And to this day, she graduated from high school. She is in college. She is actually an assistant coach for the volleyball team at her college. I'm so proud of her. And that's my baby. That's my daughter. I love her to death, and I'm so proud of her. And that's the extent to just how much I cared about these kids. I still see some of my kids out here every now and then. They're adults, of course. So that side of me for caring about people, it really goes deep. My mother, she was a nurse. My father was a firefighter, served in the Air Force. So I come from a strong service family, all right? And it's the reason why I just like servicing people. So after being laid off from EBR schools, I'm a big believer of everything happens for a reason. I was doing construction on the side, home improvement, flooring, paint, little repairs here and there, and got more into it, of course. Being in education, because educators know, you're not gonna be rich in education, but you're rich in your heart and your mind and body and soul. And that's really what being in education did. But it was a lot of energy. I commend all my educators out there. I can't imagine being in the field right now, especially during the pandemic. I commend you all out there. Y'all stay strong. Y'all keep on pushing. Keep on doing what you love. Also, so moving on, get laid off, doing the construction thing. I had to go ahead, didn't want to get back into the educational field because it would have been a downgrade for me, and say, okay, well, look, I'm gonna step out on faith and just start my construction business. I am not a licensed construction contractor. I never wanted to be licensed because of the work demand, the demand for workers. People saying, oh man, it's hard to find people to work now. I've been going to do that since I started my construction company. Finding reliable people to work and people who know what they're doing. And it's been a learning process, trial and error, ups and downs with that. But I'm still here. The construction business is still going. I've learned to downgrade, but actually upgrade on the services that we provide. So I have 2 young brothers who one of them did not know anything. Yeah, he was a bit handyman, could know how to screwdriver, hammer, and drill, but he did not know how to tile floors. He did not know how to install a tub. And I'm so proud of that young man, because he knows that he's gonna run my company. I tell him that every single day, every week, he's gonna run my company, because I have to uplift them, just as my fraternity, just as my dad, just as my family taught me. You gotta uplift each other to show what we are capable of, what we're not capable of. All right, because I definitely let him know that's not your knack. Stick with this. You're better at this. So I have a plan, I have a vision to grow my company at the same time, helping, people around me to not just better myself, but better other people. So doing this gun club, it was really about fun. It was Sunday. It was a Sunday, actually. It was a Sunday. Last March in 2020, before the pandemic really kicked off, me and some friends were shooting at the range. And we decided that, hey, we want to go ahead on and start a gun club and just come go to the range and shoot, once a month, whatever. Well, pandemic happened, a lot of police brutality on TV, and for Collins, it was not the right time to come out with the gun club. It wasn't the I don't know what's the best way to say it. It wasn't just the attitude, the mode. It wasn't the time. The time just wasn't right, period. It just wasn't right. I didn't want to come out during the pandemic and doing all the police brutality, because the point of this gun club is education. Many people before the pandemic started, before the push, everybody buying guns, people were still buying guns and sitting them in their closet and never shooting. For years, I had friends who would tell me that. And my father was teaching us gun control at under 10 years old, extremely young age. Just as like he taught me how to use a hammer and a drill, he taught me how to use a firearm. It is a tool that you can learn how to use properly. So with that, things just developed. Honestly, I don't over the months of the pandemic and talking about it and getting the LLC and doing all the cozy of organization, all that stuff. Then next thing you know as well, I wonder what it is. How can I sell guns? In addition to offering a concealed carry class, that was the basis of it. Let's get everybody just basic training. Well, if this is a business, then let's go ahead on and see how is it about selling firearms. Went to the ATF website, looked up Federal Firearms License, FFL. And this is an application like anybody else, like any other job, like any other thing with the federal government. If you went through concealed license class and getting your license, it's pretty much the same thing. The biggest thing that is the issue with selling firearms is where. The ATF allows you to sell firearms in the proper zone. I was lucky to have Millennium Park that I've been working on in partnership with a bunch of other contractors. And there's a brick building next door. And the brother that owns, the father and son that owns both of those properties, from me working, doing all just facilitating and working on the park, we were able to come to an agreement. And now I have space in the building. Now I'm also facilitating my frat brother's Keon Noel, Sausage Southern Kitchen. He's going to be opening a full-scale restaurant. Yes, full scale. When you sit down, you're able to eat. You're able to get good food. Trust me, this sauce pecan is, I want some now. I ain't lying. It is famous. And we're about to create an experience that I don't think Louisiana has ever seen. So before I get more into that, with the club, we offer concealed carry classes. We do sell firearms, we do sell ammunition, we sell cleaning kits so that you can clean your firearms. Moving forward, we're going to be offering firearm cleaning classes, knowing how to clean your firearms. That's very, very important. Just basic drawing tactics, knowing how to draw your firearm and properly store your firearm. I want to take a moment to address something. You hear a lot of people say, I have a firearm so I can protect my house, protect me and mine, protect my home, protect my kids, protect my family, protect myself. Do you know how to protect yourself in your home? It's 2:30, 2:31 in the morning, you're sleeping, you're slobbing, you're snoring, whatever you're doing under your covers, and somebody breaking in your house and you actually wake up. What do you do in that exact moment? Like, don't just say, oh, I'm gonna protect myself, oh, I'm gonna grab my gun. No. Do you know where to grab your gun? Do you have an actual plan? My father was a firefighter. He literally had, at a certain point, when you go in school, the fire plan to show you the lines and all that. My dad really had a plan for us to get out of the house. And I remember going over that plan. That's how I was raised. There is nothing wrong with being prepared. Being prepared has been changed into paranoia, or whatever. Being prepared is being prepared, okay? You prepare for a wreck in your car or putting a seatbelt over yourself. You prepare for being a wreck in your car or going into water if you have one of those knockout blasts, okay? So why not be prepared to protect your home? Don't just have a firearm in your house. Know how to clean it, how to use it, how to clean it, and how to use it when and if, and hopefully you don't have to use it. So if you land in your bed, you sleep and you hear something, do you know how to decipher what you need to do in that exact moment? If you have a spouse, have you and your spouse talked about, okay, what do? Do you roll out your bed and get down to the floor, wife? And I get on, I turn around, grab the said firearm next to me, and I plant and I wait to assess the situation before you jump to a conclusion, okay? Point is, for everybody's house, you should have that conversation, even just a fire conversation. What happens if you have a fire in your house? It's the same thing as an intruder in your house, except you probably won't be able to do anything about that fire immediately, maybe. So at least you may be having a chance to at least throw it or send somebody away or scare somebody away because you have a firearm in your house and you know how to use it, excuse me. So if you have a plan for a fire in your house, you should have a plan for a human that's not welcome to come in your house. It really is that serious. A lot of people have firearms and don't know how to load their magazine. It's called a magazine, not a clip. Preparation is a must. Preparation will save your life. Preparation is why certain teachers know how to do CPR. Preparation is why certain people lock their dogs up when they leave, because you're preparing that dog. Hopefully you're having a system to make sure that dog doesn't get out and bite somebody, all right? There's nothing wrong with being prepared. There's nothing wrong with learning how to use a tool. Most people I have a girlfriend who never, she shot a gun one time. And we went to the range recently. And before that, I'm gonna say it's been about 4 months that I've been slowly getting her into holding a gun, getting her to understand how that sounds. Sometimes just that sound, because you're not used to it. Most people are not used to a jackhammer. When they hear that, they, oh. And I know about jackhammers because we break our time. But yeah, most people are gonna get scared of a jackhammer. What's that noise? So it's about education. That's all. Most people who are the demographic who aren't used to buying firearms, which are a lot of races, a lot of sexes and different creeds and colors, aren't used to having a firearm. Never fired one. The first time she went to the range and our first class, I'm just gonna talk about our first timers that we've had already. They're some of the best shooters because one, they're under instruction. They're learning. When you're learning, sometimes you're doing your best and sometimes you're doing your worst so that you can do your best. Yes, there have been people who in the concealed class think it is on the tree, and my instructor jumps on. He does not hold back because the proper way that you hold your firearm all the time, unless you're about to shoot. And that's at a range or when you defend yourself. Hopefully you never have to, all right? But there are proper ways to do things so that you are comfortable. This is metal and hard plastic. I cannot hurt anybody unless I put my finger in here and pull. And it's loaded. Not loaded, nothing in there. We call that clear, making sure your weapon is clear. When I grabbed it off of the table, it looked just like that. I still cocked it back to make sure there's no ammunition. You treat every firearm like there's a bullet in load. Every firearm, you treat it that way. Every time you grab anybody's firearm, you make sure it's clear. You don't even put your finger. Why are you putting your finger in? There's no reason to put that finger in here unless you're about to shoot. So that's just a little quick spill on being comfortable about firearms, even a rifle. I have a picture on my personal Instagram with my mother. She came over, and I kid you not, my mom is not about no guns. Yes, even having the kind of father I had, she never been about it. My dad told me, yeah, she probably shot once or twice. Ain't like it. What she do? I want to hold the big one. It's the shotgun. I want to hold the big one. And she held it. She's even getting more comfortable. It's all about education. And that's why I started the gun club. It's education. And then second, fun. I mean, it is fun to me to be able to clean guns, talk about guns. It is fun to me to shoot on target, help people shoot on target, get me even be better. I'm no tactical person at all. Y'all not about to see me running around fatigues and all that kind. No. This is education, and this is fun, and it's safe. All right, so moving on. The next things that we have planned for the club, in addition to opening up the brick and mortar location, we have a private gun range that we are slowly but steadily building on, because this brick and mortar location, this is the focus right now. This private gun range, the thing about the 2020 Vision Gun Club is that it is private. We had a gun raffle this last week. The winner, I did the poll for the winner, only did the initials. I didn't do a congratulations post to that winner. That's it. You don't need to know who has what kind of firearm they're getting. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you know people are getting trained safely and learning how to use their tools safely and properly. So it's not about showboat. No, look at what we got. Look what we have. We got look what this person had. Look how big this gun is. Look how small that gun is. No. It's about somebody willing to get into a raffle to win a firearm that they can learn how to use. That's what. Possibly win a firearm that they didn't think that they would want to get. But hey, let me try and see if I can win this raffle and I can learn about this weapon. And yes, that person is going to learn about that weapon. Very excited. And said congratulations to them again. We're going to hold more raffles as well to just to make it fun. And more inclusive as well too, because like I said, that was our first open raffle, but we're gonna have private members only raffles. The benefits of being in the gun club. So one, education, we already talked about that. I'm gonna continue talking about that. Two, you have like minds. Biggest thing is you got like minds. I'm doing gun transfers, right? Firearm transfers. That is when you buy a gun online, you have to select a federal firearms license dealer, FFL, for that dealer to ship that firearm to another dealer. When I get that your firearm, I call you, come on in, and we do I do your background check. As long as you pass the background check, it's yours. I have 2 people on delays right now, and if you're delayed, most of the time it's because of your name, a lot you have a common name, or you may have something like a lot of tickets or something like that, or old tickets. Most of the time, you still will get your firearm after 3 or 4 days. That's the background check process. So with the getting to know with the like minds, as people are coming to get these transfers, their firearms, I'm meeting all kinds of people. And I'm letting people know when they come to the brick and mortar site, they see the restaurant, they see the entire building, the courtyard, where our entire floor and how things are going to work and how we're going to have this beautiful venue for people to actually come by, eat, listen to music, and the biggest thing, y'all, you safe. I mean, you safe, period. We have things in place where when you come to the courtyard, which is next to Millennial Park, attached to Millennial Park, but next to, you will never have to worry about being unsafe. Can we guarantee incidents won't ever happen or incident? No, of course not. But I can guarantee you, we want to make sure that we don't ever have an issue. We're gonna work to our best. And to be frank, we have a gun club that will be providing security. And it's just that we don't police ourselves. And of course, we'll be RPD when we have events and things of that nature. But safety is the number one thing that we want to make sure people know. This private gun club as well, you know, you have different people from different walks of life. I'm meeting, I met a welder, I met this guy in agriculture, I met this guy in EPA. I have met another guy who, I'm sorry, another woman who, she was so excited about having a gun club next to a restaurant that also has a venue spot where you're gonna have music and you can sit down and chill and sit outside the patio, sit down and chill and just have a good time. That it's just like, it's kind of like Cheers. I can get off work. I know that I'm coming around people that I know have a like mind of being safe and being educated on a certain tool. And look, you'd be surprised the kind of people that firearms bring together. All different walks of life, because the number one thing that you got in common is you want to be safe. It's the number one thing, safe. Nobody wants to be robbed. Nobody wants to be assaulted. Nobody wants to be hurt. Everybody wants to be safe. So those of us who, you know, don't mind owning guns, because guns aren't for everyone, firearms aren't for everyone. That number one thing we have in common is we want to be safe. Do you have to join a gun club? No, you don't have to join a gun club in order to learn about firearms, okay? The gun club is just camaraderie, okay? Yes, we will have our private classes that you may not even know about. Not might. We are going to have classes and events that you don't even know about. It's members only. No pictures, no videos. Maybe one sponsored picture by the club. I don't know. But what's the point of having a club if you don't have some exclusive events? So, and exclusive giveaways and exclusive rights to firearms before we open it up to the public. So that's the biggest reason why you would join a gun club is camaraderie and the education behind it. Next, of course, is the perks. I mean, shoot, yes, we're gonna have perks, and we're gonna keep on adding perks. One thing I want to really reveal right now is I'm waiting on these black metal cards, and that's going to be for my members. You're gonna get that metal card, and that metal card is going to be, it's going to be your member card. So what is that member card gonna do, Kyle? It's gonna make sure it's gonna let you know you're a member and let everybody else know when you're using that card that you're a member. So let's, I have more details on that when we get closer to our grand opening, but I'm really excited to have just the perks, just for people to have a spot that they'll be able to come by. Oh, I can look at your guns, see what you got, Collins. Okay, cool. And then go on out and get something to eat by Sauce and Southern Kitchen and sit in the courtyard with Hustle Ball. So let's talk about the Courtyard, because that is part of 2020 vision. The Courtyard is next to Millennial Park, located at 3847 Florida Boulevard. It is a black building. And right now there's a big black container in front of it called Hustle, but that's gonna get removed, okay? It's on a beautiful court, and this is the first time we really revealed this, and it's safe to reveal this now. We're gonna have a beautiful courtyard, patio area where you can sit outside. And inside the building, I'm not gonna reveal everything about what we got inside the building, but you will be able to sit inside. The gun club is going to close at 5 o'clock, closing at 5. I'm not going till 6. And that is solely because I don't need to be open after 5 as of now. Don't really want to be open after 5 because I want I need that ambiance of my members to be able to come to the club. No firearms are allowed on the premises. Yeah, we don't have metal detectors. Why do you need to bring your concealed weapon when you come into the site where the gun club is? You say, it's fine, everything gonna be all right. But you will be able to come on in, get you some food at Soft Southern Kitchen, sit down, get your drink at Hustle Bar if you want. Then you can walk around to Millennial Park, see the ambiance, sit outside out there on some nice colorful benches if you want to, and have a good time. I mean, to me, you can't, there's nothing out here in Baton Rouge that you'll be able to do that. All right. So I want you all to look forward to that. I mean, we are very close. Of course, we hit some roadblocks every now and then with the permit office and with construction. That's normal, very, very normal. But so far, everything is good. I mean, we're taking our time, we're doing things the right way. About Millennial Park and the Courtyard, it's owned by 3 generations. Grandfather, father, then the son. The son, Cameron Jackson, he runs Millennial Park. He's CEO over there. And it's interesting that this is the Generational Wealth series, and the backstory behind all this is that it's a generation of a black man, 3 black men who own this property that who are allowing me to do this on. The number one reason why you don't see people who look like me have their own brick and mortar shop is because of real estate and zoning. So it is a blessing beyond belief that I'm able to do this. It is a blessing beyond belief that, I don't want to say beyond belief, but it's a huge blessing that Cameron Jackson and I are able to do this next to each other. And that Keon with Salsa Southern Kitchen is able to do this. I mean, this is all owned by us. We ain't in no debt. We working hard for ourselves. I mean, this is probably the most I've ever talked about just how deep and how much work that we're doing on this, because you just want to do things kind of on the low, kind of quietly until you actually produce. And while we are actually producing, it's kind of like, look, let's still stay a little bit humble until we reach a certain point. And once we there, boom, all right. So I just want to keep, talk about a little bit more that my parents just left New Orleans, and I'm so happy that they moved closer to me. And my dad the other day just so happened to pass by the Courtyard, and he was helping over there, helping me and Kay do some things, doing some maintenance and cleanup around there. And I mean, y'all, it is, I don't know, it's surreal, it's humbling, but it's actually like for me, it's like college. You better not mess up, because you got Kurt daddy, you got Kurt, you got Cam, you got your daddy, you got Keon, you got all these men risking literally everything right now to get this done. I mean, we're really risking everything, y'all. I've never risked everything, but you got to sacrifice and you got to risk in order to achieve. I mean, how else do you make it to where you got to make it, or past where you want to make it, if you don't put in more than what you thought you was going to put in? I had no idea I was going to have to drop this much money. I mean, I won't say no idea. I knew I was going to have to spend a lot of money. Had no idea I was going to be spending this much money. Had no idea how much I'd be letting Julian, I'm gonna say his name because y'all know I promote Julian already, run my construction company, run the jobs, not overseeing him and all that stuff. I gotta put faith in my brother, in my fellow man to go ahead on and do what he needs to do so that we can all do what we need to do. So it's super, super humbling, and it's scary. It's scary because you're putting everything in it. But every day that we have well, not every day, every time we have our meetings, we always say we can't fail. We got too much into it. So when you got that mindset, I cannot fail, you got to do whatever you got to do. You're going to do whatever you have to do if you really mean that. So I'm looking to do, I've been saying that I was going to retire from my construction company at 45 years old. I started saying that at 35. I got Facebook posts with that little, it's an encrypted message for myself. Because I was like 9 more years, 8 more years, like that when I would post work. And I literally cannot believe that I'm close to actually doing that. I'm 38 years old. I want to keep a healthy body. Construction working. I used to work 7 days a week. Miss Philip, I know. I used to work 7 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. Every day. And I'm talking about, not no 8 to 5, it'll be like 6 to 8, 5 to 10 this day. Killing myself. And honestly, I did not, I didn't feel like most clients appreciated how much you do. So over time, and other people let me know, look, you need your own weekends. Went down to 5 days a week. And now I'm just gonna talk about self-care right quick because that was a big reason why I started the gun club. Well, I'm gonna say why I elevated the idea of starting this gun club because I saw this as a business, as a way to get out of laying the floor all the time, doing all the work all the time, this was my out, this is my out, I'm gonna say. So self-care is very serious, y'all, take care of yourself mentally and physically because in education, I mentally beat myself up worrying about the kids too much. And I mean, that's just part of my heart. Then in construction, I beat myself up physically, not so much mentally though. And so now with this third, I guess, venture in my life or third phase in my life, I want to make sure I'm not beating myself up physically and I'm taking care of myself mentally. That I don't let my hobby / job that's bringing income mess with me mentally as well. So, we talk about safety, make sure you can set safe with your body and your mind too. So I got to make sure that I learn from, when I was pushing them grocery carts in high school for that job I did for 3 days. From the jobs I did in college, from the advocacy I did in college to education, to the construction business, it's dealing with people in their houses and working on their house. Y'all, when I tell you that is between working with, it's like I went from one, the hardest industries as far as dealing with people, education, you dealing with people, kids. They ain't your kids. You can't tell me how to raise my kid. I'm with your kid 9 hours a day. I kind of can. That's why I fail teachers. Yes, y'all can tell people how to raise their kids. Yes, I can tell you, I'm with your kid longer than you. Your kid is more awake, and I'm about to advocate for these teachers. Your kid is awake longer at school than they are with you. When you count out during the school season, I'm gonna say it like that. And for all those people out there who've never been in education, I'm gonna say it every time I get the platform in the public. I'm gonna say it from other educators. Until you volunteer at a C or as far as grade level, C or low school for a consistent week, because school's got good days and bad days. You cannot criticize these teachers. You just can't. I'm looking forward to doing gun control classes or seminars, whatever with schools or parishes, because instead of hiding kids from guns, I hear parents say, "Oh, I got kids in the house, I can't have guns. I got a knife right over there in my kitchen. You got scissors right there. Heck, you got a weight that you curl with that your child can pick up and be playing with, and they fall on their head. You can lock up a firearm." When I hear people say things like that, and I say this with all respect, it's ignorant because you don't have the knowledge. That's all. But it's because it is ignorant to say that I can't lock my gun up. Locking it up ain't gonna, that's it. You have safes. You show me a child that can get in the safe, then you have an argument. All right, you show me a child who can get into a locked safe. All right, cool. I'll shut my mouth up. But ignorance is bliss. And look, when you don't know, you just don't know. But I am here, and many other people are here to tell you that you can have a firearm with your child. So I went off on a little tangent with that because of the kids, but y'all please respect these teachers and what they go through and what they sacrifice daily. Because right now, yes, gun violence in Baton Rouge is at an unprecedented high. And I'm sure, there's somebody out there saying, well, why are you opening up a gun store with all this violence going on? Most crimes are committed by people who are law-abiding gun owners. A lot of crimes are committed by illegal guns. And look, that illegal gun this is my firearm. My brother takes it, or I allow my brother to take it, and he used to do a crime. Yes, the gun may have been obtained legally, but it was used illegally. So I want to make sure you all know that most dealers don't look. If you're selling your gun to a criminal, that's a very good criminal to not have a background check. Okay, to not have a background check that is clean. All right. Most crimes are committed by firearms are committed from pawn shops, actually. And I am a level O2 FFL where I can be a pawn shop. And I just don't think I want to deal with the hassle of paperwork. I'm just gonna be honest with you for pawn. So I probably will never do that, pawn. But pawn shops are the #1 location where criminals will be able to buy a gun, or I don't say criminals, or a person will buy a gun to be able to commit a crime. Okay, so statistics do matter when it comes to firearms because they are out there. As far as the violence of Baton Rouge, this violence has been up all over the country since the pandemic started. It's an up and down thing, and it's at an unprecedented level. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, my personal opinion, Colin's personal opinion. It's the most I'll probably get political when it comes to firearms. Firearms, we'll never get rid of them. Like just, ban on assault rifles. We've done that. That means they won't make them, but that means people still own them. They'll never say, American citizens, you must turn in all your guns. Yeah, they talk about it all the time, but realistically, if you think about it, it's like telling every American to turn in their cars almost. It's like telling every American to turn in your belt. All right. And what I mean by that is that you use it, it's that it's so much out there. How do you, in a safe and organized fashion, take firearms from Americans? Let's just be real here. It's not gonna happen. And this ain't me trying to challenge nobody or anything. This is my personal opinion as far as a response to, there's so many guns out there. So much violence out there. It's going to be so many guns out there. It's going to be so much violence out there. It's not going to happen. It's not going to change in America. We all know that now. I think we pretty much know that violence is not just going to all of a sudden go down. It's not that much violence anymore. Being safe and being prepared is your only comfort in that. It's not a guarantee. It's better to have those skills and not need them than to need those skills and not have them. That's a great thing to live by, actually, FYI. So moving on, I think the last thing I'll briefly talk about is the gun range. It is a private range, and I say that private because it is not a for-profit range. Its inception will be a members-only range. Why? Because a for-profit range would mean that it's a business. This is someone who has donated land to the club. Therefore, this is private. This is the benefit of being in a gun club. It's a group of friends who are meeting up somewhere to shoot on another member's property. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It'll be a scheduled only range. That way, when you pull up that your lane is open, that you have a certain amount of time that you can stay there, and you're good, and you're safe, and you're around people that you know. You're around, and not necessarily that because let's say when the club has 500 people, you may be next to somebody that but guess what? You know that they're in 20/20 vision. You know that they have to actually fill out an application to be in this club. You know that Collins actually met them personally. So for the stage of where we shoot at a range, or we at the barbecue or whatever event, you know, you're good with this person to the extent that I can hang out with them right here. Well, no, we don't have to be ace boom coons out, you know, leaving out of here. But at least right here, I know that I'm safe and I'm sound and I'm with like minds. All right. I think other than that, I want to make sure everybody remember that the Courtyard is located at 3847 Florida Boulevard. That's almost right across the street from Baton Rouge General. We're looking to open at the very latest November. We want to be open for homecomings and all that, but that's gonna be real tight. But we're looking to be open in November. We're gonna be doing a lot of promotions and stuff like that. Please look forward to it. Salsa Southern Kitchen is they're doing a little soft plate lunches that they're doing, so definitely go to his IG page, Salsa Southern Kitchen BR, the Courtyard. That's KQRTYARD on Instagram. KQRTYARD. So why is it Courtyard? Well, the owner, my partner, he's a Kappa. And I'm a Q. So when he sent me the name, he probably laughing right now. I sent it back to him with the Q after the K, like, yeah, go on, put that Q on that too. So that's why we call it the Courtyard. It's a Cap and a Q together. And the other Q is also open up his restaurant. So KQRTYARD on Instagram, 2020 Vision Gun Club on Instagram and Facebook. Sauce's Southern Kitchen BR on Instagram as well, and I think he's about to make a Facebook as well. And of course, Millennial Park on Instagram. Go ahead and follow all of that so that you can see what's up and coming. Millennial Park is about to Wajad Turkey, which is on Millennial Park. They're about to also reopen within about, I think they should be opening up this weekend. Okay, should be open. It depends on how things dry, because they have to do a little upgrade, but they should be opening up this weekend as well. And y'all, the end of this year in Baton Rouge, it's about to go down. It's about to go down for real. Oh, last thing, my Instagram page. Go to the top. I got a Shopify account that shows some of the firearms that I have in stock right now. But I can also get what you want. Okay, or I can also search for what you want. Y'all know how the industry is right now with the pandemic. It's tough, but I have a lot of distributors that I have signed up with now. I think I'm up to like 17. So when you ask me, well, kind of, I want a Glock 43, you got to give me a few hours because I'm searching all these different companies and I'm looking for the best price for you. Okay, be careful buying used guns online. Doing these transfers, I've had a good handful of customers come back. Well, when they're picking up their firearm, they like, oh yeah, I like, oh man, this is what I've been waiting on. And they're looking in the box and say, oh, well, they said it was supposed to come with a lock. They say it was supposed to come with this, and it didn't. You know, it's just a gun in your box. On my Instagram, on the 2020 Vision Instagram, you can see where I show a firearm that the trigger, when I open up the box, trigger just fell. Okay, that prompted me now that when I get your transfer, I don't open it. I wait till you get there and I cut that box open in front of you just so you know that I didn't do anything to your firearm. I have to learn something and show you, you know, once that your firearm came as is. And that's the thing. When you buy a firearm online, a used gun as well. I mean, used are not used. You got to trust that person is actually giving you what you want. Okay, which is why I'm gonna say before you buy any gun online, give me a holler. Please contact us because I can search one for that firearm. And let's say I don't find it cheaper or, you know, I don't find it at all. Then I'll buy it from that vendor for you. That way they know another dealer is buying from them. And I'm not going to say they won't mess over the dealer, but it's just not something that you do. I'll put it like that without revealing how the ATF is. Other than that, everyone, I appreciate everybody for sitting here and listening. And if you got any questions, I'm ready for them. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah.
We are ready to take questions from the chat. or from the audience at this time? Collins, you shared basically what you all did in terms of finances or pulling together funds for the gun club. But could you give us a little more background for, let's just say, someone who may be interested in investing or who may be interested in doing something similar? What are some financial tips that you would share with them? What are some strategies that you would share on what you guys have done, not just with Vision 2020 Vision Gun Club, but also in terms of partnerships that you have with Millennial Park and the other businesses that you mentioned?
That's a great question. Let's start with investing. And I'm gonna talk about me, and I guess underlining is also with my partner too, but we didn't want to start off with investors. We didn't want to start off in debt, because most businesses, you're gonna be in debt the first, year or two. So investing, I have investing options where have I asked some people, actually not, I have, but not directed, not like I need this exact amount. And this is why this is a new industry for me. And I'm learning it, and I'm seeing better more and more now, just how the finances work. Okay. I'm opening up a brick and mortar shop. I won't be selling 30 guns a day. All right, that just don't happen like that. Where you make your money is actually gonna be at gun shows on firearms. Okay. So my investment opportunities is going to be on gun shows. Why? Because I know that I'll have a faster turnaround for my investor. Once I sell that firearm, money's right there. I don't have to wait on anything. So that's for me, the investment opportunity for me right now is gun shows, and for anybody who's doing it, that you want to invest with a company and say, hey, look, I have this much. What could be the turnaround? How much can you get back? Simple, the regular investment strategy. As far as our partnerships, but moving on, the gun range, that's going to be an in-house private investment opportunity. I mean, all of it is private, but it's going to be someone, it has to be someone who's a member and who's actually going to be at the club, because of how we're going to be running the gun range, because it'll be private and on someone's property. Partnerships, and this is might be a bit lengthy. You have to be very careful with partnerships. In my, I don't want to say experience, but in my opinion, most don't work. In my opinion, the reason why most partnerships don't work is because most people don't know about business. Most people don't know how to handle business. Most people don't know how to conduct business. You'd be surprised how many business owners or people who want to do business do not follow a contract that they sign. I mean, just disregard whatever contract that you sign, okay? And so it's like, all right, once you figure out that there are people out there who conduct business who disregards contracts that they sign, how do you pick the right partner? How do you know that this person's not gonna do that to you? Guess what? You don't know. Kurt, my partner Kurt, is stepping out on faith with me, and I'm stepping out on faith with him based on how we've been dealing with each other. I don't have any issues with him. We haven't had any bumps in the road. The issues that we faced together, we dealt with them together. It's all about, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, you gotta be in the trenches with that person. Because why invest with somebody or go in business with somebody that you just met on a conversation? Now y'all been talking 2 weeks, and now y'all gonna do this business or this investment stuff or this, and the next 2 months, now y'all doing this. And shoot, you don't know how that person act when they get upset. Look, Kurt and Cam know how Collins is when I'm upset about something on the job. when I walk on Millennium Park or in that building, I don't say, oh shoot, Connor's on a rampage, just watch out. And that's not, oh, he got attitude. No, that's knowing your partner. That's knowing, okay, right now he needs space, he's focused on this and that, that's why he's not really geeky guy not talking. It's little things like that that make a partnership work, that make bartering work. I'm gonna do this for you, you're gonna do this for me. And ain't no money discussed. Ain't nobody even asked, well, how much you gonna charge me for this? Well, how much do I need to give you? Money never comes up. When you got a relationship where you can go to somebody and ask them to do something for you, and it's okay, and it's all right, I can do that for you, let me go ahead and get this done, blah, blah, blah. Or, man, I think we need to do this. And then you call later on, you're like, man, I just thought of this. And now the person on the other end is like, man, you just saved us a lot of money. Or I'm like, you know what? No, I'm thinking about that wrong. Or we both thinking about that wrong. And we come up with this idea. That going back and forth where even arguments, I can't really say me and Kurt have had an argument. We've had disagreements where it don't even be a debate because we're not trying to get there. I ain't lying. We're not trying to, we gotta make this work. That's the attitude of we gotta make this work. So we gotta make sure our relationship stays tight, that we don't lie to each other, that we don't lead each other on, that we be straight up with each other about everything. All right, that look, if I gotta go out of town for a month, I got our back, not just yours, our back. If that's that ironclad partnership. And y'all, I am lucky to have found Kurt. He is lucky to have found me. It's for real. I can't implore to you how critical it is to have a good, trusting partnership. All right. The architect and contractor that has gotten on board with us now. It's like the perfect trifecta now. All right. Is it rare? No. It's just, trust me. Let's go on the other side of this now. Have we had vendors that it didn't work out with? Hell yes. And I'm saying it just like that because it was hell dealing with them people. Straight up hell. And still ain't afraid of them to this day. Because when you do right, you get right. Period. Whatever you put out there, you're gonna get back. So when you're dealing with somebody that gets over or sells you short, however, yeah, it's not that you're not stooping to their level, but you stooping to a level that they don't even understand because of what they doing. They don't even understand that, okay, I ain't worried about that 3G. They don't even understand why you're not worried about it. Oh, they're not worried. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not worried about this money you owe me. Oh, I'm not worried that now you need to pay this and you didn't. They're not gonna understand why you moving on. Because I cannot and will not fail. So you gotta know how to rely on you and yours, me and Kurt and Keon. That's what that relying on me and mine is when it comes to this business and comes to the partnership. Look, anybody else that's coming in on this thing, yeah, it's public. You're not in the core. Yes, you're welcome. You part of the family, but you're not part of the core that makes this because the core got to stay together and make sure things continue running. So your core partnership, it got to stay continue. It's got to stay tight so that if y'all go broke together, y'all went broke together. If y'all get rich together, y'all got rich together. Yeah, money change people. Hopefully we change for the freaking better though. All right. So that's the kind of partnership. And I'm just really going really hard on the partnership thing because it makes and breaks so many deals. And it's not an easy thing. It's the hardest thing actually. It's harder than money. Because we always make money. Money come and go. We can't take it with us. But those relationships last forever. You know, people gonna talk about how what me and Kurt and Cam and Keon did when we long gone dead. Yeah, that building gonna be running for another 50 years. That's our plan. We passing this on down. Just like my daddy passed on the skills and all that to me, Kurt's grandfather Curtis has passed down land and skills to them as well, y'all, you cannot make it unless you keep on passing it down, but you making that person that you pass it down to work. Look, my dad ain't come and say, hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead on and cut this for you, do that and do this. Nah, he just right there, hey, make sure you cut that straight. All right, I'm still working for it. All right. So with the partnerships, that's so critical in dealing with other people and watching and being careful with who invests in you. You know, all money ain't good money. Yes, I would love, we would love to be able to just go head on and knock it on out. You're right. You know, I can go on, buy 100 guns, be stocked up. You know what I'm saying? Keon is open now, you know, at the end of the week, and Hustle is open as well. The Courtyard, we all moving now. We would love to just be able to drop that cheese and that money and just get it going, right? But there's a process with things, the inspections that we got to have. So vendors who understand that that's time. And yeah, time is money. It's costing us every day. Yeah, I got firearms I haven't sold. Yeah, I want to sell them. No, I'm not selling them right now. Yeah, I've sold some other ones, but you got to know the balance that you're going to lose a lot starting. But look at how much we about to gain down the line. We about to gain so much. It ain't about money. It's just the whole shebang. We about to gain so much. So with the investment, be careful with your investments. Be careful who invests in you. It is nothing wrong with starting small. I am really starting small. Nothing wrong with that. The partnerships are critical. Make sure you pick the right partner. Make sure you spend time with that partner. Make sure you cultivate that partnership, just like your marriage or your relationship. I sit there and talk to Kurt on the phone with my girlfriend sitting right next to you on the phone sometimes, 8:30 at night. And would I like to not be talking about business? Yes and no, because we not gonna fail. So luckily I got a woman next to me who knows, yeah, he's not gonna fail. So yeah, he got to be on the phone at 8:30 talking to Kurt about this. So it's all those kind of partnerships that need to make sure you that they're right, so that you stay focused on achieving your goal. I hope I answered all that question. I know it was investing and then the partnerships. What's that third part to that?
You mentioned about grants, but
Grants. So in firearms, I want doing a nonprofit grant for firearms. The only way that you can do that is being an educational company. Go figure. Of course, by educators, you know that it has to be an educational company. The NRA does have a nonprofit sector. I can honestly say I don't know if there are any nonprofit firearm groups. That'd be interesting. I definitely thought about it. I know the nonprofit route, and I know that takes a long time, and I know it's all about how you truthfully write it up and show that yes, you are actually educating people to handle firearms correctly. I think it would be a glorious thing to have a nonprofit that is solely focused on safety. When we say safety, like I said, fire and intrusions. I mean, that's safety, focusing straight up on just being safe. Then you got your survivors who I'm gonna say it, doomsday preppers. A lot of doomsday preppers were well off during the pandemic on supplies. Just gonna say it like that, because they were what? Prepared. Better to have and not need. All right. Nothing wrong with being prepared. So with the grants of the nonprofits, I think it's look, technically it's possible. Somebody could do a quick Google search and look, firearm nonprofit and see if they got any. But technically it's possible, and I think it'd be a pretty unprecedented thing to be able to grow an educational firearm safety company. I'm gonna say that focuses on safety. That'd be unprecedented.
Well, that's a segue into your next question. Have you considered doing gun safety training for youth in hopes of curbing the gun violence in our communities?
That is it's a loaded question based on the knowledge of everybody, even me, because growing up, you know, my father, he let us shoot his 38 special. And his reason behind that was so that if something happens and you need to grab this firearm, you're not scared of the jerk and the sound. That was his first reason, you know, point and shoot. Then it was on aim and stuff like that. Okay, the other things. But the issue with, and I have an educational background, issue that I have with firearm training to youth, I'm gonna say inner city urban youth who are around gun violence, is that their first taste of this is gun violence. And my first taste wasn't gun violence. So the precedent has been set with said youth of what this is, what it's used for. It's to handle beef. It's to, and look, they got the video games, they got TV, and then they got real life that they seeing it in. It is a heck of a mountain to climb to change that mindset of what you've been seeing these firearms used as versus what they should be used as. So I say all that to say that it would have to be a good partnership of certain entities, but the right way to target certain kids. All right, because mind you, this is the youth advocate coming out of me. Every child I talked to, I had to handle them different. Some kids I talked rough to because I knew that's how they understood. Some kids I used more slang than others when I talked to them because they were able to relate better and I was able to get to them better, or get them to start crying better, opening up. All right. So it would have to be a very, very detailed, I don't say detailed, but very careful instruction on just even introduction. You know, when they come in, ooh, look at this, look at all that. Ooh. Is that a appropriate response? Me, I think it actually is. You gotta think about where they're coming from. You gotta think about the assault rifles that they didn't already seen. And some of y'all, I get adults who like, woo, woo, ooh, that's a big, ooh, this thing heavy. And I got kids who picking up and not mine, but I've seen them, you know, they point and all that, you know. So the appropriate, you know, them coming in, ooh, look at that, ooh, you know, it's staying calm. You know, I would have assumed that I'd stay calm and all right, and then you address that. You ask them why they got so excited. Because it's okay to get excited. Shoot, I go in the gun show and I see certain fire, I'm like, oh, look at him. Oh, he's so beautiful. Oh, and that's a gun enthusiast. Yes. So that's actually okay, but it's why am I like, oh, because it got a bump stock on it where I can tell that it won't have that much jerk on it. It has a different trigger. It got the sight. Oh, it looks so good. It probably shoots so well. And that child may be saying, oh, it looks so good because he's seen another adult around his neighborhood talking about, yeah, this is what you do with the gun. Now the kid's pointing the gun at people. Just exposed wrong. So now you gotta make sure that when they're in that setting, my educators know this, that they actually paying attention to learn something, or are they enjoying something? Are you teaching or are you giving a show? So for me, it would be, are we about to teach these kids or are we giving a show to these kids? Because I'm all for training kids. Yes, I think not every kid, but I think kids should know gun control. Basic gun control, that you don't touch the trigger. You don't touch the trigger. You don't touch the trigger. You don't touch, don't touch, don't. All right. I just think that it's risky because it's because of the precedent. But because it's risky, do I think that we shouldn't try? No, I think we should try. So, you know, I didn't want to sound like I want to say no, but I'm the kind of person that likes to, let you know all the boulders. I like to think about all of the difficult things I got to deal with to achieve this goal before I'm saying that I could do this. All right. So yeah, I think we can teach our kids. We can definitely teach our kids. We just got to teach them right, and we got to get that precedence out of their head of what a firearm is for and how you handle a firearm. So that's why I'm at with teaching the kids. I think we should, but it has to be done right. And I think it should start small too. Do a test group. You know, I think I would start with a small group, no more than 8. You know, that's that magic number, no more than 8, and see how it goes. I know that people have done it, so it's not that it's not possible. It's just how can we be different? You know, that's my whole point of 2020 vision. Outside of all the other gun shops, I don't have a gun shop. I have a gun club. Just make sure, don't call it shop. I have a gun club. So when you hear Kyle say, oh, I'm at the club, it ain't Bella Noche. It's 2020 vision. So yeah. But on a serious note, yeah, I do think kids can be taught. I do think we should teach kids gun control. And I think we should start small, and I think we should start private.
Great. Thanks for those responses. In closing, we would like to ask you what generational wealth tips or affirmations or focus for future entrepreneurs you would like to share. You probably have shared some along the way, which you really have, but if you had to give them something to think about and to focus on, what would it be?
What you love to do. I mean, it's cliche, but what you love to do. You need to focus on what you love to do and how you're doing it, because you may like to do something, but you're still not putting it out right. So that's why you're not getting back what you need from it. You know, I could love construction a whole lot, but if I can't take criticism, you know, on work, then my company would not be in business for 6 years. Okay. Have I done bad jobs in construction? Yep. Sure have messed up. And the number one golden rule about construction is that, but you could fix it. Might cost you money and time, but you could fix it. So in that first tip it's definitely, don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to own it up when you mess up. Take that, don't be afraid to mess up, and don't be afraid to own up to your mess up. Take that risk, meditate and pray on it. Because if you meditate and pray on it, then you should be getting ideas and the vision and the drive to go ahead on and get over that mountain or whatever it is that's discouraging you. Okay. There will be times when you doing what you love, and enjoy, but at this time you ain't really liking it or enjoying it. That's totally fine. Keep your eyes on the prize. That has to happen so that you know how to step back sometimes. You got to step back sometime and give yourself a break. With the generational wealth, I'm going to also say always think about yourself first, but always think about others. I used to tell single mothers, look, you can say that I got to take care of my child come first, my child. No, you got to come first so that you can put your child first in your life. So make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do for you before you bend all the way over backwards for your partner who's not bending over backwards for you. You got to make sure you recognize those around you who are for you. I ain't talking about haters. I ain't talking about that kind of stuff. I am talking about people who literally aren't helping you. Get them out your life. Stay focused on what you want it to be. I know I'm not gonna be here forever. I know one day I'm gonna die. And I think it's normal for me to think, man, I have thought, man, what if I was to die today? Like, I wonder if people would be like, damn, he was just about to open up a gun club. His construction company was going well. Blah, blah, you know, this and that and other. He had a beautiful girlfriend that he was with. I hope that that'll just inspire Junior to make sure my company run right, you know, and it takes the next levels, and he teaching the next young man that's going to do what he doing. I just hope that motivate the next person to sell firearms. You know, shoot, these firearms go to the person that I deemed in my will. So go ahead on and sell. Go ahead on and get your license. As far as the generational wealth, think about what it is that you're gonna leave. How the construction company, what is it gonna leave behind? Shoot, I got floors out there, tile floors that'll last 2, 3, 4 more hurricanes. Okay, I got houses that we can work on that's gonna get passed down, sold to this person, that person. I can go on with the construction stuff. I got firearms this shotgun is my first buy. He is came to LSU in 01. Yeah, I bought him in 01. Yeah, I bought him in 01. So that shotgun is 20 years old. I'm just realizing that. And I think this might be like 17 maybe, because I bought this, I don't know. But anyway, that's 20 years old. So these firearms will last generations, as long as you take care of them. So that is generational wealth. And I'm gonna tell you, they don't sell this Mossberg no more. This one, they do not sell this one like this anymore. So generational wealth, that just in your materials, that is wealth. Stress the importance of it. I mean, I think that we as a people, we don't think about how insignificant it is to hand down things that have not only worth but a story behind it. You know, have a story behind this firearm. I mean, I've had to take this firearm out twice because I feared for my life, and didn't have to point at nobody, but luckily. So, with the generational wealth, I just want to make sure you know that you think of that you actually have an idea of which your 2 generations will have. You know, I'm blessed to think 3 generations ahead when I'm dust. How my family or those around me can, you know, will remember me. That is a huge thing, y'all. How will you be remembered when you're gone? I think that's the biggest generational wealth that we have, is how are we going to be remembered? That's how, you know, that's how we can live forever, is through others. So hopefully people can remember that I tutored their child, that I tutored their child properly and cared about their child and hired the best teachers, and the teachers though that could say that, oh, Collins treated us well. When it comes to my construction company, I think I got clients who still refer me, who can look at the floor. Oh yeah, I remember that man who did that. I remember when he told me how this and that and the other. And then when it comes to firearms, you know, man, yeah, I bought this firearm from a dude in Baton Rouge. I never thought I'd see a brother doing this. So I never thought, you know, this and that and the other. So that's what I hope that shoot, moving forward, maybe I get a grant writer who reach out to me. He's like, look, let's do this. You know, and we start a school. And I ain't talking about school books. So that's motivation for yourself. What you want to be when you're gone. Not when you grow up, what you want to be when you're gone.
Great. Can you share with us when you will have your next class, your next firearms class, in case people were interested in signing up, and how do they go about doing that?
Okay, right now I have a Shopify account. It's the beginning website. I didn't want to spend too much money in the beginning on a website. After little business tip, The site is doing fine. It's gonna look better. It looks fine, simple. It's getting the job done. So don't spend so much money on a website so soon. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, I'm gonna get a new one. The next class is going to be in November. We're gonna take a break in October, and we're gonna have our next class in November. I don't have that date yet because we just haven't set it yet. But if you do want to sign up for that class, you can go to the Shopify account that's on the Instagram and Facebook profile and sign up. You're gonna add it to the cart and just hit purchase. And don't worry, you can't buy anything, but that's because I haven't opened up physically yet. But I will get a notification. I'll be able to contact you. And if not, if you don't want to go through all that, just go ahead on and send me a DM for now. Direct message, and we can get you signed up.
Thank you for that information. You have given us a wealth of information this evening related to firearms, your business, but I think too, another thing that was most valuable tonight is talking about the partnership. That's one thing with business that people sometimes do not pay enough attention to. And the reason that I say that is because of what you said. Partnerships are very, very important. You really need to think about that when you're talking about going into business with someone, and you're right. It's almost as if you kind of join at the hip for a while, or maybe permanently. You live, breathe, and eat together. You're happy, you're sad, you're excited, you're angry, but you have to know how to work through all of that, because you have to keep that common goal in mind.
Right.
And that is, this business is going to work. So having the faith, having the mindset that we will succeed, I will be successful, that it's a process, are very key factors in creating and generating generational wealth. So we thank you for sharing with us this afternoon. And for participants, we thank you for tuning in. You can share this with our Facebook Live, as well as YouTube with others. We have an evaluation in the chat room, and that is going to be posted. We encourage you to do that, or if you like, you may email us at brsigma@gmail.com to give us your input and share your thoughts. Have a great afternoon and take care. Signing off, Generational Wealth Series has started for the year, and please know we have a lot of other entrepreneurs who are ready to share. So let everybody know. Stay tuned in, check our website to find out what's going on and who we will be featuring next. Thank you and take care. Stay safe.